me on the song, he gon' see the wrath of the reaper. I'm probably gonna go to hell if Jesus asks for a feature.
He rather go to hell than serve the Lord, you know.
I'm higher than niggas and don't need a bag full of reefer. Some see the glass is empty, I see a glass full of ether.
See the ether. He said he's higher. He don't need to be on the feature serving the Lord, you know. He higher, you know what I mean? That's why he said you see a glass is empty, I see a glass full of ether, you know. So you see, obviously he on the sideline story because, you know, they wanted that sideline. You know, that's why you out of bounds in sports when you're on the sideline. You know, you go out of bounds. You know, you're on the sideline now because that goes into that whole thing of crossing that line. Remember, you got it's a thin line between love and hate. The devil want people crossing that line. You know, either you choose God, you choose the Lord, Louis Eternal, or you choose Lucifer. Is who you gonna serve. You know, Lu means light. You know, Louis Eternal, the light of the world. Or you gonna serve Lucifer, the light, the false light bearer. You know, knowing the name is important. So that's why you got that locker, because you want to collect souls for them in Davy Jones' locker. You know what I mean? So that's why he's on the sideline. Then he become the born sinner because he let you see how he dealing with the cloud. You know, mocking. He's on it, the false side. He's on it with Lucifer. Remember how he said he exalted himself above the clouds? He in that ether, dealing with the Freemasonry, trying to find their way into heaven. You know, find their way back into heaven without dealing with the Son of God, thinking they can get back to heaven, even though they cast themselves down those fallen angels. So you see how he's showing you that he's a born sinner, and then he go from the sideline story to born sinner to him sitting on top of the roof. You know, because now he's saying he exalted high. He's sitting on top of the roof. You know, sitting on top of the capstone. You see what I'm saying? And then he going to KOD. You see where he's the one in the robe, and all the children are on the drugs. You see, leading them to hell. You see what I mean? Same thing with Kendrick Lamar. Cause you know J. Cole's name is Jermaine Lamar Cole, so that Lamar just means the man out to sea anyway. So you know Kendrick Lamar's middle name is Lamar. His last name is Duckworth. So both of them are Lamar's in their middle name. You know, Lamar, like I said, just the man out to sea. So that's what they basically just saying. They're the living waters. They're Christ. So that's why Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole did the sideline story, going into picking a side. Kendrick Lamar did the Section 80, which goes into like gaining a portion of Satan's matrix, the Section 80. You know, the government housing, you know, gaining your portion, you know what I mean? Picking your space. That's why you got the bullets, the pills, the Bible, you see what I'm saying? How blasphemous that is. Then he went from that to the caravan, the Kara. So now he's saying he's the Kara, you see? Just like J. Cole did the Born Center, going into the clouds. And then he did the Damn album where he's standing in front of the brick wall. You know, they already know they the ones they already damned for joining that side, serving that Freemason wall, you know, the pyramid, the false pyramid. Then he got the GNX, obviously down the line, dealing with the car. And then remember before that, he was Mr. Morale, Crown of Thorns, Christ blasphemy. So you see how they operate. Remember J. Cole already said he's the middle child. And you see how he's sitting inside the cart with the grape Fago, because the grape, remember Christ's eyes is as wine, which is just grapes, red as wine. And then the cart, because in 2 Samuel 6:3, and they set the ark of God upon a new cart. You know, the ark of the covenant. So he's saying he's the lawgiver. He's the middle child. He's the one you get to get to the Father. You know.